Hello out there, and welcome back to Global Health News with myself, Charlene, and this is Ty with The Truth About Cancer. We're so glad to be with you again, that you have joined us, and we have a real treat for you today. We are so excited. In our own home, we had so many cancer survivors here, and their stories brought me to tears at times. We laughed together. We even drank some crazy cricket stuff and ate crickets. It was
We did some crazy health stuff at our house.
Yeah, we did. We were crazy.
The fun thing about Global Health News in the past is we kind of banter back and forth. And we talk about the articles and the stories and all of the stuff, these current events in health that are happening that would impact your lives. So that's kind of been the format. But we wanted to do something different for the next couple of episodes of Global Health News. And so what you're going to see over the next 20 to 30 minutes is literally going to be snippets from different cancer survivors that came to our house, that learned about us through The Truth About Cancer, and that The Truth About Cancer actually impacted their lives, and that many of them credit the information that we share with them for saving their life. So it's really humbling for us, but it's really gratifying, and we wanted to share that with you so that you see that this is real. And that's one of the things that I think across the board, whether it was with us or with the team that came here, thank you so much, Natasha, Cindy, Caitlin, Alan, Travis, Mark, Bryce, Brianna, everybody that helped on this, because the whole team worked on getting a lot of this footage. So what you'll see is just a mishmash of some of the footage that was shot at our house over the period of one day, actually. Yeah, and I just have to say that some of these survivors, they're just so passionate about this mission, and they were so happy to be here. And one, in fact, kept saying this is the best day of her life, just to be here, because she's so thrilled to find the truth about cancer and knowledge to heal her body. And all of you out there that have joined us, that are sharing this information, some of these people may have never found us if it weren't for you sharing our information. So I just thank you. We both thank you. And everybody on our team thanks you from the bottom of our hearts for sharing and helping us to reach the world with the life-saving truth that cancer really doesn't have to be a death sentence. And I know you're going to be encouraged, don't you think, Ty? Oh, they will. So we hope you enjoyed the next 20 to 30 minutes, and we'll see you in a little while to conclude the show.
So when were you diagnosed with cancer?
In 2007, 11 years ago.
Wow. And so you've been fighting this battle for quite a while.
No, I only fought it for about 4 months and the cancer was gone, even though they told me. That's a good answer. They only told me that I had 6 months to live. I had what is called a leiomyosarcoma, which is a cancer of the muscular system, and it turned out when they took it out it was 10 pounds, and they told me they were going to have to take out my intestines and my bladder and my body parts, and basically it seemed like they were just going to gut me. And I said, no, if I gave you a general consent to do that, I'm going to cancel it. I tore it up. I said, you can take out the tumor. And they said, well, if it's attached to your intestines, we can't get to it, so we'll have to just sew you back up again, which wasn't a good alternative. And I go, no. I said, any part of the intestines that are blocking you from getting that, you can take out that particular part of the intestines, but leave the rest inside of me. And so what was supposed to be a 16-hour surgery ended up to be 2 hours, and I came out of there and they said, you have the vital signs of a youngster. And because I got through it without fear, and when I first got to the hospital and the doctors told me that I had 6 months to live, I said, no, I'm not claiming that. And they said, well, with chemo, we can extend your life. I asked for how long?
Hooray.
How long? They said another 6 months. You could live a full year. And I said, well, what would the quality of my life be during that time? And I said, no. I said, number one, I know that that chemo destroys your immune system, and the same God that created my body, I know can cure me, but he's going to need my immune system intact. So no chemo. Plus the other thing is it doesn't kill the stem cells. So the stem cells can metastasize somewhere and then pop up again. Now, you know, you had breast cancer, now you've got liver cancer. So I turned that down, and I went, I told God, I said, I have faith that you're going to be able to cure me. And I said, but I need my immune system. And I'm going to show you I have faith, because if I'm fearful, then I'm a liar. I don't have faith. Mm-hmm. And so I said, just get me through the next procedure, which God did. And I came out of it, and within 2 hours, I was on the phone to my daughter. And my youngest daughter, 2 days later, had a granddaughter, and she named her after me. And I went on, and I have 8 grandchildren, and I have 3 adult children, and I'm writing books to teach other people how to cure for cancer. I have one called Cancer Free Naturally, and just telling people how to stimulate their immune system. What I discovered in my research is that there is a acid coating around your cancer cells, and it disguises them from your immune system. So you've got to get rid of the acid coating. So you can do that naturally with enzymes like proteolytic enzymes, and mushrooms are really good for that. And it's just things that maybe people haven't thought of yet, giving people, alternatives and answers, and to get rid of their fear.
Johnson.
Okay.
And I was diagnosed with prostate cancer in the year 2000. And at that time, I took the road less traveled by, and I didn't accept any of the recommendations that my urologist made in terms of how I should treat the cancer. So I didn't want to do chemotherapy, which he recommended. I had worked as a hospital pharmacist, and so I knew that that was an option that I would not choose to do for myself. And surgery had its shortcomings, and so I didn't want to do that. And radiation also has some severe side effects that I didn't want to accept. And so I chose to undergo what was called watchful waiting or active surveillance, where I didn't undergo any of the more radical treatment modalities, but I would monitor my PSA and wait and see if there were any symptoms that developed or concerns that I would need to address. And so that was 18 years ago. And so since that time, I've been continuing to watch and wait, and my diagnosis has changed from malignant prostatic carcinoma, or cancer of the prostate, to an enlarged prostate, BPH, which is benign prostatic hyperplasia. And so that's my current diagnosis. Although the cancer, I've not been diagnosed as being cancer-free, but the cancer itself has not been a problem. I had some other symptoms and issues that I've dealt with, but at my age, I'm 70, I'll be 76. And that generally men who are diagnosed with prostate cancer at that age usually die with it rather than from it. So outside of the diagnosis, I'm in excellent physical health, and so I continue to watch and wait, and I'm enjoying life. And it is such a blessing to be here to tell my story one more time.
Enjoying today?
Oh, well, I'm enjoying the entire day. Originally, I wasn't real sure if I did want to come. I mean, I wanted people to know my story, but I wasn't real sure if I was ready to give my story out. So I'm encouraged from that, knowing that I was diagnosed with colorectal cancer 2.5 years ago. The doctors were telling me I would not live past 6 months, and 2.5 years later, here I am. And that by going completely natural and not doing any chemotherapy or radiation, nor not having the surgery, that I am a testament that people can live, that cancer is not a death sentence, that even though the doctors say your chances are slim, your chances are a lot higher than that. So I get from that I am thrilled that other people are going to get to hear my story, and I'm thrilled that I was introduced to the truth about cancer 2.5 years ago.
My name's Marietta Goldman. I was diagnosed with colon cancer in 2010. I was 44 years old, so I was considered young for getting colon cancer. And it changed my life. I realized I stepped into a place of transformation that I didn't really know I needed, but the evolution was about to happen. And so I made major changes on the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual level. The physical sort of kicked it off for me by changing what I ate, how I lived, what I did with essential oils. And then I realized that I treated the cancer with surgery, and the complications that arose just kept coming up, showing me that there was still more work to be done. So I had to really dive into what I needed to do mentally to change my thought patterns and to express emotions that were not being expressed. And then I realized that I had to explore the whole spiritual piece of my life and how I really needed to learn how to slow down, let go, and have a deeper faith. So I see cancer today as a gift that really pointed me in the direction of how to change my life so that I could really live for the greater good. I wanted to live heaven on earth now, today, and it took cancer to really show me how to do that.
What's your name, first of all?
Linda Roberts.
Linda Roberts. So if you could just give us a little bit about your story, how you feel to be here with the truth about cancer, how they've impacted your lives.
The truth about cancer has impacted my life because you can ask any question and you'll find an answer. I researched many different areas when I was diagnosed with cancer in 2004. But I found the answers that I needed right here. I didn't have to look any farther. And I've been cancer-free for 14 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
And I have a different outlook on life. I've become a vegetarian.
Good for you.
I pray to God every morning. I thank Him and praise Him for another day. I just turned 81.
Oh, wow.
And I'm grateful to be here.
Hi, my name is Gisela Turbok, and in 2013 I had a life-saving surgery. I had a basketball-sized tumor found in my abdomen, and after removing the tumor, I was told that I have to do chemotherapy in order to survive, in order to live. However, I chose not to do chemotherapy because I believe that there is other ways to heal. And back then I was already eating super healthy. I used to be a professional athlete. I was meditating every single day for the past 10 years. I was doing all the right thing, and I still got cancer. And I just didn't understand why this happened. And I just wanted to understand the why. Like, why did I get it when I'm so healthy? I didn't eat sugar. I don't do anything. And then the messages started to come to me, but what happened, I refused chemotherapy and I decided to do my own healing. However, unfortunately, the cancer came back even more, and I had to have a total hysterectomy where everything was removed. However, they couldn't remove all the cancers because everything was spread. And I had to face another decision to do chemo or not do chemo. But I just wanted to listen to myself, and even though my family, everybody wanted to do chemo because they were so afraid to lose me, I just went with my own intuition and I refused to do it. And then I started applying all the methods and modalities that I used before together with Theta Healing, which I was able to use on myself every single day. And my body started to adjust to it. It wasn't an overnight healing. However, it took me almost a year and a lot of commitment and determination. But I'm cancer-free for over 3 years now, and I feel better than ever. And I'm just living my life purpose to truly helping others to help them heal on a physical, mental, and emotional level.
Hi. My name is Teresa Sutton. I am a 4-year cancer survivor. I am honored to be sitting in the home of Ty and Charlene Bollinger. And I am also even more excited to be alive today. I thank God for sparing my life. In 2014, I was diagnosed with stage 2 triple negative breast cancer. Upon my diagnosis, I was very bitter, angry, and mad at God for what He had allowed to happen in my life. Did not realize that my sickness was unto death, but that God had a greater plan for me. There was something else on the inside of me that He wanted to pull out of me. And as a result of me going through my cancer diagnosis, God has really opened major doors for me. My story is that all cancer is not unto death, but unto the glory of God. God has a purpose and a plan. When we go through cancer, it does not mean that it's a punishment. It is because God has a plan. He's in control of everything that concerns us. He loves us. He will see us through from beginning to the end. So upon your diagnosis, take the time to be still, breathe, and believe, knowing that God has you covered from beginning to the end.
My name is Leanna Long.
Okay.
And I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma at 32. It was very out of the blue. I was living a pretty healthy lifestyle, watching what I eat, exercising, doing yoga. And I was actually 2 months away from moving to San Diego. I was in Denver, Colorado. And on my annual exam, my doctor found the lump in my left breast. I was very reassured that it was most likely not cancer, and I held on to that, what I was told, and really didn't believe that I had cancer. So when I got that call, it was like the whole world caved in on me. It was very, very shocking. And since I was already on kind of a holistic health journey, I, immediately had the fear of being told that I would need to do chemo. And luckily for me, my breast cancer was stage 1, and I actually had a panel of 12 doctors say that I shouldn't do chemo, it wasn't recommended. But I had a test come back, a genetic test called the Oncotype test, come back, and it came back. It tells you your reoccurrence rate based on taking a certain drug called tamoxifen. And although they had thought that would come back as a low number, it came back higher than expected. And the oncologist, did suggest that I take into account possibly doing chemo. At that point in time, I was already highly against that, and chose, not to do chemo, as well as not to take the tamoxifen, which they had prescribed for me to take for 5 years. I'm 3 years out now from all of that and cancer-free, and I ended up completing my journey and moving to San Diego, and built a whole life out there.
Wow, wasn't that fantastic just to see so many happy people, vibrant and joyful to be alive? So stay tuned, we're going to bring so much more to you, full interviews. So if you haven't yet, follow us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube if you haven't done that. Join us on our blog at thetruthaboutcancer.com and share everything you can, because there's someone out there hungry for this information. Somebody that you may not even know that's following you on your social media that may have just got diagnosed with cancer. The common thread here, Ty, I think today that I heard was they were hopeless until they found the truth about cancer. And that's why we do what we do. It is. So it's really encouraging for us. And again, thanks to everybody that was instrumental in this. You see us, but everybody worked so hard. So we want to give kudos to everybody that was working. So on the screen now, you're going to see Natasha. Thank you so much, Natasha. Natasha, awesome. And Cindy, thank you so much. Caitlin, we really appreciate you as well. And then Alan,
And there's Travis. There's Mark. And here's Bryce. Here's Brianna. Is there anyone that we forgot? Oh, and thank you for watching.
Absolutely.
Share it, and we'll see you next time. We have one more episode of Global Health News that you're going to see more of these amazing testimonials. While the medical doctors today might say that these are anecdotal stories, I don't care what you call it. These are people that are alive today because they did the right thing. So thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you. God bless.